Good day, everybody, and welcome back to my channel here on Bugasiswe, where we have real talk about real life issues. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Harriet Lucas, and I'm an ex-offender after having spent 18 years in jail for a murder that I committed in 2004. I have taken it upon myself to speak out on the issues surrounding the reintegration of offenders back into society and everything with regards to that. So I welcome you. Before we actually get into the content of this video, I would like to mention here that if you are one of those many individuals who focuses on entertainment and you consider life a joyride, thinking that it's a journey that needs to be enjoyed and you should enjoy the scenery along the way, then unfortunately, I don't think this platform is for you. I am not here to sugarcoat anything, and I'm also not here for entertainment. My motivation behind starting this channel was to be moral support for individuals going through similar struggles that I had to go through prior to being arrested and also after being released from prison in 2021. And many of those issues are usually not spoken about. But I feel there are underlying issues, real issues, that are not being dealt with because the media focuses our attention on rich people's problems. If you look at the war in Syria, those weapons that they are using there, and the whole reason behind it is all as a result of greed. And unfortunately, people on the street, you and me, are the ones having to suffer the consequences of such classes. Be that as it may, there are still issues that needs to be dealt with that is not being put in mainstream media. Issues of anger, sorrow, heartache, pain, disappointment. The list goes on. And as a society, we are not often encouraged to speak about those things because our attention through the use of media is largely focused on entertainment and things that are inconsequential to our own lives. And I'm here to shed some light around those issues that people shy away from. Simply because I've had my fair share of it and I've come out on the other side. Not that I don't have issues anymore, but I'm in a better position now to speak out on those things. I can speak from an informative point of view. And I trust that it will benefit you. If you are one of those people struggling and going through these type of things, having real life issues, then I sincerely hope that my videos will be beneficial to you or someone that you know of going through these issues. So with that said, I would like to welcome each and every one of you, and I thank you for tuning in. And our focus today will be on the floods of life. According to scientists, the earliest recorded floods happened about 12 to 15,000 years ago, towards the end of the last ice age, and it lasted for about 55 years. And then, according to historians, biblically, referring to the floods of Noah, floods happened 3,500 years BC, and it lasted for 40 days and 40 nights. Now, whether you have secular belief or whether your belief is Christian based, I think we can all agree that floods happened on this earth. I'm a firm believer that it did, based on my own travels here in South Africa, where I came across evidence of former times, and it got me thinking. So I do believe that floods did happen. And then what makes this so significant for me is that whether you believe that there was nothing on the earth, there was no people, there was no animals, and the floods happened, and whether you believe that God instructed Noah to build an ark and take an animal of each sex into the ark with him, whatever your belief is, the significance for me lies in the fact that after the floods, after everything was submerged into water, when the waters covered the earth, when God, according to the Bible, instructed Noah to send out a dove or a bird, and the last one came back with a leaf in its beak. And that for me is so profound, because after that storm and after that coldness, there was still life, the promise of life, new beginnings. And that is what I want us to focus on in this installment. Because you see, so often we go through storms of our own. We are flooded with so many negativities going on in our lives. Maybe you are lying on a bunk bed in your cell, in your jail cell somewhere. I mean, it's safe to assume that everybody's got cell phones, so for argument's sake, let's assume that you are on your bunker bed somewhere in a jail cell. Or you are lying on your couch at home, or in bed in your house, or you are driving your car somewhere, or you are at work. No matter where you find yourself as you are listening to this video, I would just like to encourage you with a few simple words. If you feel that the walls are closing in on you, that you can't breathe, you feel as if you are climbing a mountain and there's no end in sight, if you feel that you are not good enough and you've tried your best and it's still not good enough, if you feel belittled by others because of your appearance or your mannerism, your personality, or maybe you have a physical deformity or disability, maybe you feel you are better off dead because your life is just so filled with misery. You don't feel like smiling because everything around you is sad. When you feel that somebody else's happiness is more important than your own. When you feel that you are not good enough because you cannot buy what other people buy. When you feel hopeless because you don't have money for electricity or to buy food. When you feel that you are so different that you don't fit in anywhere. There's no way, no place for you to fit in. If you are going through any of these things, maybe you even feel ashamed because of what is happening behind closed doors. Maybe there's an uncle or a brother or a peer or even a guardian who is abusing you sexually or physically or verbally, and you are ashamed of yourself. You feel belittled, you feel worthless. This is the part where I want to encourage you and say to you, do not give up. The challenges that we face, the difficulties that we overcome, it shapes us into becoming a better version of ourselves. No institute can teach you what these difficulties and these life lessons can teach you. No matter how much money you have, you cannot learn this in any institution. And one day you will look back on your life and be thankful for those challenges that shaped you into becoming who you were meant to be. I know I'm a testimony of how overwhelming things can be for you. I know what it feels like to just want to give up, to just want to hide yourself away in a corner. But let me tell you that everything in life has its purpose and its time. There's a reason why you have to go through what you are going through. You may not feel that is the case right now, and things may not make sense to you. You may even have lost your faith in God, feeling that He is just not there because you pray and nothing happens. The bad things just continues. But please, I beg you, I implore you, do not give up. No one is here by chance. Everything has its purpose. To help me help you appreciate your life and see how very blessed you are, I am going to show you a couple of visuals. I believe that during our toughest times and during our difficult hours, it is a good thing to see the struggles of others so that it can humble us and remind us of how blessed we are. So I've compiled a couple of images, visuals for you to take a look at, and just take a minute to reflect on those that are worse off than you. Mr. Glenn Simmons, wrongfully arrested and convicted in Oklahoma, USA, for murder he didn't commit in 1975 at the age of 21. He spent 48 years, 5 months, and 13 days in prison before being declared innocent in 2023. Then in China, forced child labor remains a huge problem, even though legislation and laws have been put in place to abolish such practices. However, the Chinese government says that under special circumstances, children under the age of 16 will be able to work. And then moving on to Kenya, according to worldvision.com, people are suffering and dying from malnutrition, starvation, and hunger. Human trafficking for forced labor or commercial sex is also a plague in our midst. According to estimates, more than 27 million people fall victim to this crime across the world at any given time. Countries with the highest rates of human trafficking includes Iran, North Korea, Sudan, Cambodia, Papua New Guinea, and even South Africa and China features on that list. Then there are people suffering deformity as a result of toxic waste chemicals. According to nature.com, the countries with the highest rate of deformities are those in the Middle East and North Africa. Then, of course, there are our natural disasters occurring all over the world as a result of climate change that has claimed the lives of millions of people and have left many people destitute and homeless. When I went to prison in 2005, I thought my life was finished. I felt there was no hope. I thought I was never going to see the light of day again. I thought I would never feel the grass under my feet again, that I would never walk in the midst of society again, free society. And I felt very hopeless. And during my floods, when life overwhelmed me to the point where I felt I couldn't breathe, I didn't want to live, I wanted to give up. I had one sure life jacket, and that was the belief that I was not put on this earth to die in prison. I was not born to be a criminal. I was not born to suffer. That there was a bigger picture that I'm not seeing. And I kept telling myself that better things are coming. This is not the end. For me, that life jacket was God. I had God who I believed in. For you, it can be something else or someone else. But I want to encourage you today. Whatever it is that is good that you believe in, that is good in your life, that gives you hope, I want you to hold on to that. Because even in the darkest moments, I believe there is something good about your life that you can just cling on to. Trust that things will work for your good. And I promise you it will. I'm a testimony to that. I'm here today because I overcame those challenges. I did not give up. I can sit here and speak to you and have agency over my decisions that I take and the route that I want my life to take because I did not give up. Even though I had more than enough reason to even take my own life, to do worse and to become worse than where I was, but I did not. You cannot be a spectator in your own life. You need to be the author of your own story. You need to drive your own ship. You need to take agency. And that will only happen if you go through those challenges, if you face whatever it is that is on your plate. The hand that life dealt you, deal with it. Life wasn't meant to be fair. There's so many things. Whether you've got a ton of money, whether you are poor, we all have our challenges that we face. So whether you are in prison or not, whether you've never been to prison, whether you've spent most of your life behind bars, the fact remains is we all have challenges that we need to overcome. When the floods want to overwhelm you, when you are underwater, just know that the sun will come and it will evaporate those waters and it will shine for you. You will have your new beginning. You will have your fresh start. You will be able to dictate what you like and what you don't like. It will be up to you who you allow in your life and who not. But until then, have faith. So with that said, I would love to introduce you to a book written by a very special woman who is a professional psychologist, and she's done a case study on my life. and the challenges that I went through. So if you want to explore more around the issue concerning difficulties in life and all the wrong ways of approaching those difficulties, then that's a good starting point for you, because it will also show you the right ways and the results of it when you make informed decisions, when you take agency back in your life, when you take control of your emotions, when you see yourself as a human being, that you realize your self-worth, when you start realizing that you too are important in life. All of that and more is included in this book. And therefore, I encourage you to get yourself a copy of it. If you are going through your floods and you need some motivation, or you need a motive or a reason to not give up, then I strongly suggest that you get yourself a copy of this book. The name of the book is The Courage to Grow, Crime and Therapy in Society, Lisa's Story. I, of course, represent Lisa. The author of the book is Dr. Sandra Hoffman, and you can order this book online. The numbers will be up on your screen, and I guarantee you that it will give you some perspective around the challenges that we face. Like I said, this channel of mine, I started it initially to discuss the issues facing ex-offenders upon their release back into society. While I feel that depression, it affects all of us. Maybe you are considering doing something that will land you in jail, then please, by all means, get yourself a copy of this book. I promise you it will make a difference. And I will be attending an event on the 16th of October in Tembisa at the Rabasutu Community Hall, and I will be showcasing my book. And there will be a whole lot of other authors and different individuals representing different fields of life: business people, church people, other authors, other ex-offenders. It is called a celebration of books and authors. And you are welcome to come and join, but you can only join through booking. So the details will be up on your screen. It is hosted by Mr. Solimanga, who is also an ex-offender and who is doing tremendously great work in the community to uplift the youth and to empower South Africans. So it will be a very interesting event, and I welcome and I hope to see you there. Like I said, I will be showcasing my book there. So please do come for a meet and greet and also get yourself a signed copy of it. Thank you so much. And I sincerely hope that I have been able to touch someone somewhere in a good way. I hope that I have been able to give you something to hold on to through whatever difficulties it is that you may be going through. Then, of course, I would love to ask you to share this video. I'm not that big on likes, but if you do, it would help me in a great way if you could like the video. But more importantly, I would love for you to share this video so that it can reach the right person, the person who actually needs it. If you can just share it with the person that you know, whom you know of, that is going through struggles and difficulties. It can even be a parent who's struggling with a difficult child, or a child that is struggling with difficult parents. I promise you, this book will be a life changer for you. I thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you in my next installment. Do stay tuned and stay blessed.